Hello students, in this particular video we are going to learn about the coral reefs. Actually I have discussed this topic, what are coral reefs and what are corals, what are the different environment needed for their growth. I have discussed in the last class, but I want to revise this topic once again so that you can understand and you can connect the other topics easily. So coral reefs are the thing is that the coral is a type of animals, very tiny animals, marine animals actually they are, and they are also known as coral polyps. So they have the very calcium carbonate made up of skeleton they have, and they actually shed their skeleton which is made up of calcareous thing which is made up of calcium carbonate, and with the accumulation of their skeleton the coral reef is formed due to their very hard structure skeleton. When these all the skeleton get together and they become a very hard solid structure, they are known as coral reefs. Reef is always a very hard stable, or we can say some kind of height will be there, so that is known as reef. So in India the coral island is Lakshadweep, which is made up of coral reef. So this is the basic idea, and they actually extract the salt from the oceanic water to protect their skeleton, and for their growth they actually use different kind of algae, plant species under the ocean, and there are different environment. So we will understand that what are the ideal environment for their growth. So shallow water is needed, they cannot grow in a very deep water, and hard structure is needed so that they can attach their skeleton to this, and after compaction, cementation and solidification of these coral skeleton the reef can be formed. Then clear water is needed, means water should be clear, it should not be polluted, and it should not be turbid means it should not be mixed with any kind of pollutants. So clear water is needed, and warm water. uh, coral coral cannot grow very well in a very cold water le ada it cannot live. Okay, it is very difficult to survive. So warm water is needed, and the temperature must be around 20 to 25 degree. Okay, it is an ideal temperature for them. So that's why coral reefs generally prevail on the eastern coast of the continent, because eastern coast of continent endana warm currents day predominance kuddalan. So that's why the in that area eastern coast the water condition will be warmer, it will not be cold. So that's why the coral reefs are found in such area very much, eastern coast of the continent. Okay. However, this is not true in the case of India, as the eastern water are filled with high amounts of sediment matter. എന്താണ് നമ്മുടെ ബേ ഓഫ് ബംഗാൾ ഏരിയയിലെ കോറൽ റീഫ്സ് എന്താ ഫോം ചെയ്യാത്തത്? ബിക്കോസ് ബേ ഓഫ് ബംഗാളിൽ കൂടുതൽ rivers are draining into the sea. Okay, so many river systems which are draining into the Bay of Bengal area, so they will actually deposit very much amount of sediments there. So this will actually disturb the water environment there. അവിടുത്തെ water condition അത് turbid ആക്കും due to the deposition of sediments. So that is the reason in eastern coast we cannot get any kind of coral reef. So we have only coral present in the Lakshadweep area. Okay. Then saline filled waters. These corals can actually grow with the help of salt. Salt is very much required thing. So water should be saline. Okay, and the rich supply of nutrients is also needed for their growth. So they actually get the nutrients from the marine plants. Okay. Then coral reefs are very much important for coastal protection because they act like a barrier or hard structure on us, so it cannot disturb the coastal belt. And with the help of these coral reef, the coastal areas can be protected from strong ocean currents and waves. Then food source ana, so many fishes can be attracted to the coral reef area, and the catch of fish fish the catching will be maximum in this coral reef region. So it is another example of good source for food for different people. Okay, then medicinal properties. Coral reefs are said to be the medicinal chest of the sea because so many fishes, marine animals are attracted to the coral reef area, and they can also produce some kind of chemical compounds which has medicinal value for the humans. Okay, then meteorology means prediction of weather phenomena, monsoon day conditions, and then the characteristics understanding. These coral reefs can be very much important. So several studies are there which say that coral reefs actually can help to understand the pattern and nature of onset and withdrawal of Indian monsoons. Then very important is the tourism. You know that coral reef can attract several tourists, and they can actually generate so much of revenues. Economic value is very much there in the coral reef area because they provide a very good sightseeing under the seawater, and it develops as a very good potential for the tourism sector. Okay, then these are the conditions favorable for coral growth. Same thing, that temperature should not be below 20 degrees Celsius. 20 to 25 degrees ideal temperature for them, and they cannot live without water is needed, but depth should not be very much. Shallow water ana ettu necessary. Then the water should be clear so that the oxygen supply will be abundant. Enough fight oxygen kittum. So when oxygen is there, they can grow enormously. The nanite valorum. So water should be clear. It should not be polluted. It should not be turbid. And you can give some example from here, that in Australia, then the southeastern islands like Philippines, Java, Sumatra, Indonesia area, like Maldives, okay, these coral reefs are found in a very large number. So you can give the examples from here. Okay, then there are some types of coral reefs. So on the basis of geology, nature, shape, and mode of occurrence, means what type of rock structure is there which they are attaching, nature endana ada edala shape le ana develop cheyane, how they are occurring, adante base cheditana three types are there: fringing reef, barrier reef, and atoll. And on the basis of location on a two types, that tropical coral reefs which are found in the tropical belt of the earth, and marginal belts of the coral reef. Some small pockets will be there all over the world where these coral can be formed. So these are the two types on the basis of location. So we will be discussing only these three because these are the very important one. All the coral reefs are divided on the basis of these three types. So fringing, barrier, and atoll. Okay, so first one is the fringing reef. Fringing means what? Fringe means what? Some kind of bordering, surrounding on it. Okay, fringing area, urban fringe area, you might have heard, means any area which is fringing the urban area, that is known as urban fringe area. Fringe means what? Actually it is surrounding the object or surrounding any area. So that is known as fringing. So fringing reef means any kind of coral reef which is surrounding the island. So in this picture you can understand that this white color is a coral reef, and these are attached to the island. They are surrounding the islands. Okay, so that's why it is known as fringing reef. So along the continental margins or along the islands are called fringing reef. Okay, the seaward slope is steep and vertical while the landward slope is gentle. So what happens? This portion is the seaward slope. So other steep and vertical area, and the portion which is attached to the island, means land area attached side are the gentle area. So it is a important condition or important characteristics of a fringing reef, the slope variation. Okay, and fringing reef are usually attached to the coastal land, but sometimes there is gap between them and land. Then it can be attached to the coastal margin attach cheyan pattum, but there will be some gap. Okay, then it is sometimes the gap will be there, and in that gap what happens? The oceanic water will be attached, actually captured I repeat. So when the oceanic water is captured and it is surrounded by some kind of land area, that is known as lagoon. You know how lagoons are formed. So in such cases, these coral reefs can create some kind of gap. In that gap, oceanic water can be trapped and they are formed lagoon, which are known as boat channel. Okay, a particular lagoon de perana boat channel. So these fringing reefs are very much common type of reef found in Philippines, Indonesia, means southeastern belt le the kurdal available. Eastern Africa, Red Sea area le, pinne Western Australia le Ningalo reef ana, that is the largest fringing coral reef in the world. Okay, so this is the examples. Okay. Then comes the barrier reef. So barrier reefs are the largest coral reefs of the coastal platforms, but parallel to them are called barrier reef. So coral reef coastal platform ne parallel I form chidaleana in the barrier reef. Means they will not surround the area, they will form parallel to the coast. Okay, so this is a coast. So this reef will be formed in the parallel structure. Okay, so largest and most extensive, highest and widest among all types of coral reefs. It is a very much broader, very much highest and largest type of reef. What is barrier reef? And it is very much extensive that shallow lagoons. Again, the lagoons can be formed between the coastal land and the barrier. Then some kind of water will be trapped. The example is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and it is these barrier reefs are also very much important for marine animals. Several fishes, several type of mollusks can be formed there, and it provides a good environment, good habitat area for the different kind of marine plants or marine animals. Okay, so this is about barrier reef. Then comes the atoll. Atoll endana, it is a ring shaped coral reef, islands or series of island. Means atoll is always in a circular structure, circular shape ana, ring like structure ana. Either it is a coral, the coral kondan attach chedada, otherwise it will be the island. Okay, small islands can be attached together and can be formed a circular, a ring like structure, that is known as atoll. And this atoll surrounds a body of water. Means idande idale in between, what happens, the water will be there, so that is known as lagoon. Okay, so this circular type of coral reef called an atoll is created as a ring of coral surrounds an undersea volcano that has risen above the water surface. So these coral attach actually with the volcano which is under the oceanic water. So once this volcano subsides under the sea water, these coral reef will be remained. Okay, and then since they are surrounding the volcano, they will form a ring like structure, a circular like formation. So that is known as atoll. So how atoll formed? So this, in this picture you see that in between lagoon is there, it means water is trapped, and this brown color you see, brown black, this is the coral reef which is circular, means in a form of circular. It is circling the water, ring like structure ana. So that is known as atoll. So atoll engane form chene that an underwater volcano pierces the surface of ocean. Ocean de adivagath endana, volcanoes are there, and when these volcanoes erupts, they provide lava, and these lava can solidify and can be condensed and can form a very hard like structure. So due to the continuous accumulation of lava, the height will be immersed. Okay, idante molding lava bannondirikka with the continuous fall of lava and again falling lava and the cooling of lava, solidification of lava, what happened, the structure will be grow and it will come out of the oceanic surface. Ida ocean de mol bhagana kanan sadikku. And in between what is happening, ocean de adil endana, that coral reefs are surrounding these volcanic islands. E volcanic islands de surrounding area le coral reefs are being developed. So once these islands are subsides after certain years, these islands can go down under the oceanic water or the subside chain. So what happens, these fringing reef, these coral reefs can be remained, or the remain iricum. So that is formed the atoll, and in between the water will be captured, and that is formed the lagoon. Okay, so this is the basic idea about how atolls are formed. Okay, so the same thing is there, that atoll develops with underwater volcanoes called seamount, and first the volcano erupts, these lava piled up on the sea floor, and as the volcano continues to erupt, a volcanic eruption process and continue the lava eruption will be maximum. So with the help of this maximum lava generation, the height of the volcanic island will be bigger. അതങ്ങനെ ഗ്രോ ചെയ്ത് എന്താണ് ലെയർ ലൈറ്റ് സ്ട്രക്ചർ ആവുമ്പോൾ it will come out from the oceanic surface, top surface ne കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. So ആ top surface like കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുന്ന structure എന്താണ് oceanic island or volcanic island. Okay, in the next stage these tiny animals, means this coral can be they can actually start to build a reef around the island. E volcanic island surrounding area they will be attached and they will form a reef. Okay, these coral reef called a fringing reef because they are attaching the island, surrounds the island just below the ocean surface. Okay, the thin shallow strip of water between the fringing reef and the island is the lagoon. A process endana, sometimes the water can be trapped and they will form the lagoon. Then what happens after certain years, over million of years, these volcanic islands erodes and they can be subsides under the sea water, and they subside cheyu. So the sea mount erodes into the sea. Its top made flat by the constant pounding of powerful ocean. Ipo ee sea mount ana ida erode cheyyumbol endana idoru e type structure varum. So that is known as guyot. Ida sea mount ana and this is known as guyot. Okay, guyot. You have understood it in the last class. You can refer the notes, you can get it. So due to the erosional activity of oceanic currents and sea waves, this guyot can be formed. So as the island subsides to become a guyot, its ring shaped fringing reef turns into a barrier reef. Ipo endana ee guyot padike taalot ponu idinte surround cheyana coral reef endana ada adapolirikkum and it will come up the oceanic surface. Either sometimes it will come upon the oceanic surface, and that is known as barrier atoll. Okay, so that formation is atoll, and in between endana particular area le sometimes water will be trapped. Okay, in that area water will be trapped and that is known as lagoon. Okay, so sometimes it cannot actually surround wholly the volcanic island. Ida complete ആയിട്ട് surround ചെയ്യില്ല. Sometimes ഇത് അതിന്റെ പകുതി ഏരിയയിൽ മാത്രമേ surround ചെയ്യൂ. So പകുതി ഏരിയയിൽ surround ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എന്താണ് ഇത് താഴേക്ക് പോകുമ്പോൾ ആ ഏരിയ അങ്ങനെ ബ്ലാങ്ക് ആയിരിക്കും. So in that blank area, in that gap, water will be trapped. Okay, so that's why the lagoon is always available in the center area of the atoll. So atoll is shape and the presence of water is very much important. Atoll is always in a circular ring-like structure and water will be trapped or captured in the center area. Okay, so this was about the types of coral reefs and how the atoll is formed. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about the different theories about the coral reef formation. Okay, so you can refer these notes, I will send it, and any doubt is there you can just ask me. Okay, so thank you all.